When you see a tree trunk go straight into the ground, look out, pay attention, because it's an indicator that somebody pushed dirt up around the base of the tree. See how this trunk goes straight into the ground without a basal crown flare? That's an indicator that this tree was very likely buried at one time during the development of this complex. I pulled all the leaves and duff back from the base of the tree, and you can see that there is a clear discoloration around the base of the tree, which is an indicator of possible crown rot. There's also sprinklers. There were sprinklers in here, which means that the base of the tree for a long time was wet, dry, wet, dry, wet, dry, which will lead to crown rot, basal crown rot. It's a very serious problem. A colony of ants was at the base of this tree, which means they may be living in the trunk. So this complex was built about 15 years ago, and very likely the developers, the guys with the bulldozers, had to grade the whole area, and they pushed dirt up around the existing trees. Almost all the trees were cut down except for a few, and this one shows a grade change. There was one other valley oak on this complex that I also did a root crown excavation, and I went down a full 12 inches before I began to see any flaring whatsoever. Now, why is this important? There's a big difference between root wood and trunk wood. And if you pile dirt up around a trunk, it starts to decay. And over time, 10, 15 years, you can get a compromised area that starts rotting, causing the roots to rot as well as the trunk to hollow out. Now, I run into this quite often, and if you open it all up and allow it to dry out, you can certainly slow things down. If you catch it soon enough, it'll dry out and it won't get much worse. But if you wait too long, you can lose your trees that way. So look for that abrupt, straight drop into the ground, and you can oftentimes surmise or guess that developers screwed up. And here's yet another tree where I've started a root crown excavation. You can see very carefully I've dug around the base of the tree without damaging the trunk or any roots in this area, but it still has a ways to go, and water could stand in there, so that's a whole nother issue. Big, beautiful tree they don't want to lose. So if you're in a complex and suspect grade changes had occurred, take a close look at the trunks of the trees. You may discover something that you can remedy. Thanks for watching.